The Cardinals lose in embarrassing fashion again, and unfortunately, firing a coach right now won't fix anything. Let's discuss it.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily Arizona Cardinals podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Alex Clancy here, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the number one sports podcast network. The Arizona Cardinals, not the number one sports team in football, not the number one sports team maybe in their own state, and definitely not the number one sports team when it comes to positive things after week 11. All of those things and more. Hashtag analysis. Today's episode of Locked On Cardinals is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Okay, so listen, nothing great to discuss. There's going to be a lot of constructive things, a lot of what needs to happen things, and a lot of finger pointing, inducing things that I will say. Comments have been on fire. Regardless if I agree with you, disagree with you, regardless if you've been screaming at me for 9 seasons now, I'm happy that everybody watches. Thank you. Just try to do the best we can every day here. The Cardinals lose 41-22, and the wheels have officially fallen off. Jacoby Brissett set a record that I don't know is good. 47 completions in a game. Trey McBride and Michael Wilson had 300 combined receiving yards. So there's some positives. I'll talk about those in the final segment. It's going to be namely surrounding those two. Josh Sweat continues to get closer to 10 sacks this season. But other than that, not great. Going into yesterday, the one thing that I was looking for was, will these Arizona Cardinals try to smack the 49ers in the mouth? Will they try to, I don't know, bounce off of the embarrassment of last week and show some face and compete? And that lasted about 7 seconds. Then we saw the opening kickoff go 98 yards, almost housed it, and Christian McCaffrey walks in for their first score in under 20 seconds. Like, oh, okay, so this team is giving up. And that's not, okay, so it's like, well, that's not fair. It's the first play of the game. Special teams, it's not the offense, it's not the defense. It's the third phase. Just go bounce back. Oh. Well, that didn't happen. It's 13-0. It's like, oh, okay. So there's so many different. I didn't realize I was being prophetic when I was being somewhat sarcastic, saying that Trey McBride is the only thing you can trust on this team. I said that 5 weeks ago. And now it's never been more true. Now everything is in question. And it's uncomfortable. It seems premature or way too late to have arrived here, one or the other. We're two and a half years into the rebuild, and it looks like it's at a standstill. I think once Kyler Murray got hurt, you needed to look at this through a different lens. And this is the lens that we're looking at it through. It's not a matter of Kyler or Jacoby. Because Kyler Murray's hurt. So he can't play. So it's not like the Cardinals benched Kyler Murray for Jacoby Brissett, which is it's interesting. People think that way. This is a bad situation on offense. The Cardinals have no run game. Drew Petzing, I can guarantee you, Drew Petzing, his game plan all week wasn't to throw the ball 57 times. I can guarantee you that. So the blame Petzing, fire Petzing thing, that's cute, because I can guarantee you that wasn't the game plan. When you cannot run the ball, you have to throw the ball. No Marvin Harrison Jr. Michael Wilson played out of his mind. Trey McBride is Trey McBride. When everybody knows the pass is coming, I'm surprised Jacoby Brissett didn't throw more picks. One of which was definitely on Elijah Higgins, not coming back to the ball. So many penalties. And listen, with the penalty part, yes, it's coaching, 100%. And when you have practice squad guys playing in the NFL, it happens. Pharaoh Brown was just elevated. And he was the one, I believe, who had the holding penalty, which was questionable, on the Bam Knight 60-yard touchdown run. So when you've got all the injuries, Kyler Murray's hurt, the run game is non-existent because you're on your fourth running back. The DBs are banged up. Mac Wilson's on IR. It's like, okay, everybody's so angry, pointing fingers at something else that everybody else isn't pointing at, and you're just arguing. Everybody's just arguing with each other. We're in it too. We understand. It's like, no, it's definitely Petzing. No, it's definitely the defense. No, it's definitely the coach. It's like, it's all of it. Everybody is at fault in this conundrum that we found ourselves in looking at this team. Everybody's on the block. The wheels entirely fallen off. And there's still 6 games to go. 7? Yuck. So when we're all fighting and we're all doing all this stuff, it's just like, let's try to be a little bit more constructive here. Jacoby Brissett threw for over 400 yards. Had a really bad interception. That second one looked really bad, but, you know, you defend Kyler when people stop on the routes, but not Jacoby. Same thing. Same exact thing happened. So the entirety of this is incredibly frustrating. But this is what it looked like in 2022 when you knew that things were changing with Cliff. And I know Kyler had torn his ACL, so he was out then also. This isn't an anti-anybody, anything. This is a collective that's failing. This is a collective that outside of a handful of young stars that they're going to have moving forward, there's going to be spots. Luckily, there's going to be far less spots than there was when almost 50% of the roster got overhauled when Monty Osfort took over. The Cardinals just aren't winning games. Do you want to point at coaching? Sure, 100%. You want to start looking at Nick Rallis' way? Sure. The toughest part to gauge here is if everybody was healthy, would this be happening? And we haven't been able to get that answer since week 2. We haven't been able to get that answer since week 2. It's either Garrett Williams or Will Johnson. Walter Nolan wasn't healthy. Even Walter Nolan wasn't there. And I know injuries happen. The Cardinals have been absolutely excoriated by injuries. They've been absolutely bludgeoned with injuries. And I don't make it an excuse. I won't. It's part of the plot. But the Cardinals have been in every game up until these last 2. So I don't even know what it is anymore, man. But there is one thing that I do know. Firing people won't fix anything. At least not for this season. Just pause before you throw something at the TV or computer. Most likely a computer. Discuss it next. This episode of Locked On Cardinals is brought to you by our friends at Mint Mobile. If you're still overpaying for wireless, it's time to say yes to saying no. At Mint Mobile, their favorite word is no. No contracts, no monthly bills, no overages, no hidden fees, no BS. I said yes to making the switch and getting premium wireless for just $15 a month. Mint Mobile makes it simple. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can even bring your own phone and keep your same phone number, dude, and contacts. Ready to make a move? Ready to say yes instead of saying no? Make the switch to mintmobile.com/LockedOnNFL. That's mintmobile.com/LockedOnNFL. Upfront payments of $45 required. Limited time, new customer offer for the first 3 months only. Speeds may slow down after 35 gigs on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for more details. Man. Please go to the YouTube channel. Search Locked On Arizona Cardinals. Hit that subscribe button, man. You know the dang drill. This stinks, okay? We can commiserate together. Let's not be arguing in the chat. Let's not be doing these things. Let's talk about constructive things, okay? I'd like to keep this as non-toxic as possible. I'm here for you. I'm here to air things out with you, but let's do it in a nicer way than what we've seen, if at all possible. Firing somebody ain't going to fix this. And I know that traditionally speaking, in the history of sport, in a situation like this, somebody should be getting fired. If you told me somebody did, I'd be like, okay. Like, I'm not anti relieving someone of their duties if they deserve it. And what the Cardinals have done up until this point have been some fireable offenses. But if you let somebody go now, that means that all hell is going to break loose in some respects. The order will be unrestored. And, well, look at what's happening. They're losing all their games. Order's gone. Chill. Keeping the entity together, even if they're going to move off from them at the end of the year, is the more prudent way to handle this. So say, okay, you fired Drew Petzing. I love, fire him. Okay, then what? Somebody else calls plays. Who? Well, I don't. Okay, let's circle back. Let's come back to earth. I understand that people need to be held accountable. And I understand that this season has been a farce as compared to what we thought it was going to be with this team. I get it. And I commiserate with everybody who wants to see somebody get their walking papers. What I can't wrap my head around yet, and listen, if you were listening 3 weeks ago, I wasn't even anywhere close to this, but I just don't know what it'll solve. I don't know what it'll solve. And that's the part that I'm struggling with. You don't want to bring him back? Fine. You don't want to bring Drew Petzing back? Okay, that's fine. And I could stand behind it. What are you going to do for the rest of the season? This season is already over as pertaining to playoffs. So what's it going to change? Well, you got to do something. Okay. What? Fire Drew Petzing. Okay. We just went through that. Fire Jonathan Gannon. Okay. Then what? You have Jeff Rodgers take over? There's no experience on this coaching staff. The biggest thing that I struggle with this is, and this is open-ended, like this is not rhetorical by any stretch, has what Jonathan Gannon done up until this point enough to give him the carte blanche or the pass to coach another year? So let's break down the negative side, wins and losses. Of course, they took over a D2 school in 2023 roster-wise. Last year was better. This year has not been great. It can't be overlooked that, and I've said this a couple times, and it sounds like a cop-out, but I promise I'm not trying to make it sound like that, that what they've done to the culture is different. Okay. Between the lines, looks the same. This is more of and it's harder to say every week post-game to say this. This is still better than what it was. And listen, it's not good now. And that has an expiration date, which could be after week 12. I just and that's rhetorical. Like, that's not rhetorical. Like, what he's done up until this point done enough? Where you look at these last two games and be like, the quality of work before that can, leapfrog it and allow him to stay for the rest of the year, or because like it's his last year was contracts next year. So you just clean house, all three of them. I don't know. How much of this can you look at and say everybody was injured the entire year? Kyler Murray got hurt in week 5. Is that on the coaches? Did the coaches commit 130 yards in penalties? Did the coaches fumble the ball on the 1 yard line? Like, you can have that conversation. Well, teams that are prepared don't commit penalties. Agreed. I said that entirety of Cliff's tenure. Prepared teams don't commit as many penalties as they have. With 40% at times, 30% of the starters hurt at any given time, and who's committing the penalties? Is that coaching? Is that unfair expectations for guys who probably shouldn't be out there? I don't know. When the sky is falling, it's difficult to see what the right thing to do is. So if you told me that they were going to let Drew Petzing go now, I'd be like, okay. I mean, I guess. If you told me they were going to let Jonathan Gannon go now, I do not see the benefit. Well, they'll play for somebody else. Okay, who? They'll rally together with a new coach. Okay, that's a next year thing. If you don't want to move on from him, if you don't want to keep him going into next year, okay. Let them ride it out. Save any sort of face that this organization can save. That's where I struggle. And I'm probably wrong with, a lot of what I said. Like, I don't know what the right move is. And sometimes, and everydayers who've been around for a long time, sometimes I just throw my hands in the air and I'm like, I don't know. Every decision is right and every decision is wrong all at the same time. And that's incredibly frustrating for the fans, people who cover this team in some form or fashion. It's incredibly frustrating. They've turned into the same old Cardinals. And it's incredibly frustrating. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. We are ending with some damn positives. I can't do 3 bad segments in a row. Well, I mean, to some, I do every bad segment. Every segment's bad. Every segment's bad, but I try. We're doing positives next. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. This episode of Locked On Cardinals is brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA is in full swing, dude, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making the late push. Well, and you can look at what Atlanta did last night to the Suns, be like, that would have been interesting to put some cheese on the long shot right before a 22-point comeback. I know it's a bad example, but it happened in our back door, in our backyard. So you kind of got to talk about it during the live read. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Please go to the YouTube channel, search Locked On Arizona Cardinals. Hit that subscribe button, man. You know the drill. I will go back to doing my post-game 15 minutes starting next week. Cardinal Squad Show was fun. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. I know it's tough. I know it's difficult. We got to get through this together. Positives. Michael Wilson, career day, 185 yards receiving. Trey McBride, 11 for over 100 and a touchdown. That's what I said was going to happen. I'm surprised he didn't have 2. Well, he did have 2, and 1 was called back due to you guessed it, penalty. I've said this about Michael Wilson. I've gotten scoffed at sometimes. I have the truthers of Michael Wilson in my corner, which may explode after this week. He's a wide receiver too. You just got to get him the ball. And that's the biggest indictment for me, comparing directly, even though it's a fool's errand at this point, Kyler Murray to Jacoby Brissett. Michael Wilson was a non-entity in this offense with Kyler Murray. He is with Jacoby Brissett. And I know Marvin Harrison Jr. was out, but 185 yards receiving, that's the most in the NFL this season. So Jacoby Brissett gets Michael Wilson open, And he wasn't open before. Oh, it's a play calling thing. It's probably not. It's probably not. Trey McBride, always open. Everybody knew it. He's always open. He is going to be the Travis Kelce for this team moving forward. And I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Travis Kelce. I'm not saying he plays like Travis Kelce. He's a George Kittle. He has the potential to be better than George Kittle at his peak. We've already seen it. So we'll see. And the comparison is unnecessary, but the gameplay comparison is there. The dude's an absolute beast. And I'm really happy they paid him already, so he'll be here for a while. And listen, I don't know, man. 47 to 57 is pretty good to me. This isn't like glazing or anything when it comes to Jacoby Brissett. I mean, 57 passes. It's pretty efficient. He had the one bad interception, and he had the second one, which if you want to say was bad, whatever. You throw the ball 57 times, it's bound to happen. When everybody knows you're throwing the ball, it's bound to happen. The defense couldn't stop anybody. It's unfortunate. That's another conversation we're going to have later in the week. What happened? Will Johnson, I know, was out. Mac Wilson's on IR. Like, they haven't been healthy all year. Adrian Taylor Emerson was out. Jalen Thompson looks old. Denzel Burke isn't ready. Like, I know he flashed a couple weeks ago, but I don't know. Like, I'm going to be doing my first segment tomorrow on adjustments because that's something the Arizona Cardinals absolutely have not done this year. But Trey McBride, like, you gotta just be over the moon that that's your dude for the next 4 years, at least. I'd lock him up 2 years in to this extension. Michael Wilson is a wide receiver too. So whoever the quarterback is next season, maybe Kyler Murray will come back healthy this year. Who knows? Maybe he'll be healthy this year. Maybe. But going into next season, you're going to have Marv, Michael Wilson, and Trey McBride. Okay? That could be so much far worse. Whoa, that was a terrible sentence. So much worse. It could be so much worse. Michael Wilson is great on contested catches. We saw that on the third and long deep ball. He's great across the middle. He was open all day yesterday. And they must have schemed for him because he was the only receiver out there. Greg Dortch got a touchdown pass late. And I know a lot of this was in garbage time. I know. I watched the same game. Everybody knew the ball was going to Trey McBride and still got to Trey McBride. 2 touchdowns. 21 previous games with Kyler Murray. He's at a boatload with Jacoby Brissett. I'm not saying it's one thing or the other. I'm stating facts based on numbers of games that I've watched with my eyes. So when you look at the Cardinals and you look at the future, it's cloudy. But when it comes to the team this year, I think staying as a unified front is the best way to go for now. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. Remember, without you, there is no me. I'll talk to you tomorrow.